Yo, editing bitch, you get the movie review done yet? What the fuck? Why are you working on that Omni-Man come-down face meme? I told you not to do that. That was you and Warhawk person's idea to do that, okay? Not me. So, get off your ass and get to work on the editing for the next review. What the fuck do you mean I need to get working on the review? You haven't even recorded it yet. What are we doing for the Thanksgiving special? Last week we had FNAF came out, and it took a while to come out because of your lazy bitch ass, and some random person had to break in and force you into doing it. Okay, listen. Don't act like we don't know who was that person who broke in here and forced me to do the FNAF review. I knew it was you, motherfucker, and at this point, I don't care. I had to work my ass off on fixing the power. Fine, we'll do the Thanksgiving special this week. What movies are there out that we can do? What Thanksgiving movies are there? Listen, me and Warhawk just thought it would be a funny thing to do from a video that was deleted off the internet a while ago. We did that as homage to that. Now, for the Thanksgiving review here, let's see what Thanksgiving movies there are. Well, taking a look, there's Freebirds, Paul Blart, Mall Cop, Black Friday, Poultrygeist, Living of the Turkey Dead, or whatever the fuck that movie's called, Pilgrim, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, a classic. Yeah, that's all I'm seeing here. I don't know, all that stuff seems pretty predictable and already done. Is there anything new, or like like a meme-y Thanksgiving movie? Well, looking here, there seems to be two options left. There's, what's that one? There's, the new Eli Roth horror movie, Thanksgiving, and then there's also, I think a killer turkey movie called Thanksgiving. No, don't you say that name. Don't you say that movie's name. If that movie's name, it's the name that shall not be named. If you finish saying that, then it will become a part of this channel. It becomes cemented in this channel, and then I will have to cover it, which the first one isn't bad, but I am not talking about that piece of shit second movie. So please, listen to me. Tell me what the next showing is for the Eli Roth movie, and I'm gonna go watch that right now. Whoa, man, calm down. It just seems like a stupid fucking indie movie. Okay, fine. From the looks of it, the Eli Roth Thanksgiving movie, there's a showing in 30 minutes from now. Are you gonna go see it? Okay, that sounds good. Let's go. Let's get the fuck out of here before we have to watch that goddamn movie. Okay, man, okay, listen, I'll come with you to see it. Come on, let's go. Hello everyone out there, welcome back to the Phantom Smack YouTube channel. I am back with another review, and this review is of Thanksgiving, released this year in 2023, starring Addison Rae, Nell Vertue, Patrick Dempsey, Milo Mayhem, Rick Hoffman, Gina Gershon, and it was directed by Eli Roth. The plot of Thanksgiving is that when a Black Friday mob happens and tragedy strikes, people are killed, a year later, a masked maniac dressed like a pilgrim or whatever the fuck he's supposed to be in this, I forgot the person's name, is going around killing people who somewhat have to relate to the event in question, as they try to figure out who the killer is and how to survive. So Eli Roth is definitely one of those directors where I haven't seen a lot of his films, but I definitely have known of them. He tries to capture a very specific style with his movies, where he makes horror movies where necessarily the characters are pushed off to the backside so you can enjoy more gore. I feel like he tries to capture the style of older horror movie exploitation splatter films, such as The Prowler, Pieces, My Bloody Valentine, but he definitely does try with his characters sometimes, especially in films like Hostel or his family film, A House with a Clock in Its Walls. That film is the easiest name to make a joke. You just replace one letter, A House with a Cock in Its Walls. Overall, I definitely admit that he is a director that I'm not the biggest fan of in some instances. I do enjoy his films, but you have to be of a certain mindset to watch an Eli Roth movie. Expect a fucking shit ton of gore, the characters to be not the most interesting or engaging. We got Thanksgiving, which I think, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that this was based off of a trailer he did for Grindhouse back in the 2000s, you know, when Planet Terror and Death Proof were coming out. And he finally got it made into a feature film today. And as I said, there's not a lot of horror movies out there with Thanksgiving as the main focus. We do have some, like Poltergeist, Night of the Living Dead, and Pilgrim, and others that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. I do feel like he does try to capture with this film a lot of the slasher holiday films, such as Valentine, My Blood. I just realized those are two Valentine Day set horror movies, but Valentine, My Bloody Valentine. A lot of the slashers around holidays, or just slashers from the 80s, where it's a mystery and you're watching characters who you're not supposed to really like that much get killed in creative and inventive ways. And that's the thing that I give Thanksgiving to the best of its ability, is that it relatively plays it to the slasher beats well enough to where you have a good time watching it. You gotta know what you're getting into with this film to enjoy it. He really does do a good job with the creative kills in this, and it's gory, but it's not gory to the point of being disturbing. It's gory to the point where you're like, oh, that's a creative, cool kill against this character that is a complete other dickhead that you want to see get punished. And I feel like Roth does a good enough job with setting up that these characters are bad people, because these people were responsible for fucking mobbing people at a Black Friday sale and killing multiple people over trying to buy a half-off fucking waffle iron. Like, I feel like with that impetus in the beginning of this film, I feel like he does a good enough job setting up that these characters are assholes, and especially people who, like, recorded the event and got views on it because he was wanting to capture this insane shit, but then he's exploiting it. The film does a very good job making you hate a lot of the characters that get punished in this. Not saying that all the characters are unlikable. The main character is very standardly written, but I feel like the actress plays her well enough to where you do like her in this. And I feel like there are other characters in this who are likable, even if they are a bit asshattery at some moments. Rick Hoffman, especially as the main character's dad, he does start off as kind of an asshole character because he owns the store that this event happened at, but he does have a nice scene with the daughter character, and he is entertaining in this part. I really haven't seen him in anything except Hostel, but I really enjoyed him in this as well. And also Patrick Dempsey as the sheriff to the town. He is also very entertaining in this as well. He's kind of going around trying to figure out who the murder suspects are, but they give him this like Boston, New Jersey accent because this takes place in Massachusetts, and it's kind of funny in some moments. And there's also this other character who is like the son of a gun store owner, and he like tries to like sell alcohol and guns to the kids. At first, I was like, is this character just supposed to be a red herring dickhead? But then later on, you realize he's just kind of a fucking stupid idiot, and I definitely fucking enjoyed his performance in this, especially interacting off the other characters. And as I said, nothing too interesting really for the main character. You get her point of view and you get her motivation, especially because her mother died recently, and then she's mad at her dad for remarrying. It's standard stuff, but I feel like the actors play it well enough to where you are rooting for them instead of just wanting everybody to die because you hate every character. Roth definitely makes you sympathetic and understanding to some other characters while making other ones complete asshats. Also, I like to mention this, Milo Mayhem, who plays the main character's boyfriend in this, I recognized him immediately, and I hate that I recognized him. I recognized him because the only other thing that I have seen him in is the Disney Channel movie Zombies, and I hate that I was able to recognize him in this, but he does fine. I have few to many complaints about that character because he's mainly just a red herring. And also, Eli Roth's direction in the horror sequences are done well. As I said, the kills are very creative, very gory, but I expect that with his type of filmmaking. And I will say he does set up a nice amount of creative shots and cinematography in intense, scary scenes. There's a very creative kill that involves a trampoline, which I don't think I've seen that in a film, or at least done like this the way he does it. But I will say he does set up very interesting shots and in suspenseful scenes, even though in one of the most suspenseful scenes, there is a moment that I thought, would that work? Because the main character hides as a mannequin head, and I'm like, there is no fucking way that the killer, unless that mask he's wearing gives him no peripheral vision whatsoever, would not see them. Like, I had to stretch my suspension of disbelief there a little bit because that was a bit far-fetched. The only major problem I would say this film has, other than being a standard horror mystery slasher, is that when it's revealed who the killer is, you could kind of see who it is. Like, I had a few guesses on who it was, and then when a certain scene happened where a character definitely teleports, like, I was a bit confused by what was revealed and what was going on. I was like, that doesn't make a lick of fucking sense how that person got there before one other person. But it's fine. Horror movies, people teleporting, it happens all the time. But yeah, as I said, the horror mystery and the element to that, it isn't the most engaging thing, and you could see where it's coming from, but I say it's well enough done, and especially with how this film plays out as one of those slashers, it works well enough for me to where that didn't bother me a huge amount. The only other thing that really bothered me was this film's pacing. It's an hour 46. I feel like it could have been cut down to an hour 30. There are some moments where I was like, especially in the third act, things were starting to drag. Not saying that it necessarily was just all chase scenes. It's just that, like, there's a break in action and it's just characters talking, and I was losing it a bit, and I was like, okay, can we wrap this up and get to the climax already? Overall, I relatively say this is an enjoyable Thanksgiving horror movie. It's a good enough slasher in its own right. While the characters are not the most engaging or interesting, you understand why Eli Roth did that, because you want to make these people as dislikable as they can, so when horrible fucked up shit is happening to them, you kind of are like, oh, that's a cool creative kill to this person who kind of deserves it. And especially with his commentary on Black Friday ruining Thanksgiving and people dying over fucking toaster ovens and bullshit like that, I will say he does a good enough job with that commentary. And the main characters who you're supposed to like, I feel like the actors play it well enough to where you do understand and find them to be likable. The only major problem I said this film has is its pacing. I feel like it could have been cut down a little bit, and while the murder mystery and the slasher elements are kind of standard, I was expecting that going in. So I overall had a great time, and if you're a fan of horror movies and you want another Thanksgiving horror-themed movie to go see, or if you just want to watch this every year, I can see people doing that. But I definitely would recommend it if you're a fan of horror, but if you're not, don't go see this, which was a weird thing that I want to bring up. Two separate people walked into the theater halfway through the movie and then left before the movie was over. And I was questioning what the fuck was going on, but I really didn't care at that point. I was just watching the film. This film, for its rating, will get 3 waffle irons that people are trying to get 50% off on Black Friday, but end up killing people out of 5. Yeah, overall, I did enjoy this, but I do admit that it is standard in some areas, and the pacing does bring it down to me, so I'll give it a 3 out of 5. It's a perfectly enjoyable slasher, and I did make a community poll on this on the YouTube channel, and you guys said it would be a 4 out of 5. I can see that, but I just gave it a 3 out of 5. It's better than standard and very enjoyable to me. But anyways, that will be this review of Thanksgiving. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe down below. Be on the lookout for my next review, which should be of Godzilla -1. I am super excited about that review. Yeah, and also I'll see you next year for another Thanksgiving movie, which I promise I will try at the best of my ability to avoid it that shall not be named. But anyways, for now, I will see you all next time.